Welcome, my dear apprentice, to the world of divine and mystical, where today we'll be taking a look into archaic history. With Easter on its way, many people reminisce on hunting for chocolate eggs or going to the church to pray. But not every Easter tradition has its roots in Christianity. No, today we'll be talking about Eostre, a Germanic spring goddess. She is where the name Easter comes from. Eostre, Easter. So Eostre is an old English deity, and back in the 8th century, people would hold grand feasts in her honour during April. Though her worship declined with the spread of Christianity, people still worship her today. There is no strong connection between Eostre and eggs, though eggs do often represent fertility and life, which aligns with Eostre's symbolism. It also is theorised that the hare, something commonly seen in depictions of Easter, the Easter bunny, Easter rabbits, is one of Eostre's sacred animals. Again, likely due to its connections with fertility. And the hare was likely very important to the spring festivities, but considering that it dates back to, the 2nd century, we just don't know how they celebrate, how they incorporated these animals into their celebrations. It's something we're still researching today. Later on, a more modern take was formed, with scholars claiming that Eostre once turned a beautiful bird into a hare that laid eggs. But this was only in the late 1800s to early 1900s, so it's likely not something that was historical. Eostre has been described as a goddess of light, dawn, and fertility, and it is speculated that people believe she would send hares to carry her light. A sacred animal. She would send them out to carry, it doesn't say, but I'm envisioning these balls of light that spread life and joy across the land. But that's just me. So yes, she would send these sacred animals. But she's also depicted wearing a crown of flowers. People would also, her worshippers, they would, offer up spring flowers in her name. So I imagine that she'd be wearing the flowers offered to her by her people, but again, that's just my speculation rather than what's established. Despite the sheer amount of time that's passed since she was worshipped, people still celebrate her to this day during the spring equinox in March and throughout spring as a whole. This celebration is called Eostre. I think I'm pronouncing that right, I'm not sure. Eostre, Easter. If you want to celebrate Eostre or Eostre, you could prepare a picnic-style feast. Seasonal vegetables and fruits, surrounded in a field of flowers, dressed in pastel colours, and just take a moment to breathe and appreciate the life around you. And just breathe in the smells of the trees and the flowers and just... Or you could take a walk throughout nature, observing the abundance that spring brings, let the earth's energy flow through you, and let yourself just feel renewal, and just dance, okay? So, no matter what you celebrate this spring, remember the ancient goddess Eostre and the rituals and traditions that still inspire us today. Now, one final thing that I want to mention is a lullaby. This lullaby has been deemed a hoax by many experts who have inspected it, but it's really pretty, and it was mentioning Eostre, the holiday / goddess. Yeah, in this case it's referencing the goddess, I suppose. It was likely written in the 1800s, so I've adjusted it slightly to avoid confusion. I am gonna sing it because it is so good. I know, it's deceptive, this is what people used to sing in medieval times. No, it isn't. I wrote it myself in the 1800s. It's... Pardon my singing voice. Child, sleep speedily, leave off crying, truth forcefully fends off the murdering wolf or starter for the child leaves, honey and sweet eggs. Ever for the child breaks, flowers blue and red. Sunfana on the morrow sends white little sheep, and one-eyed Odin ever heard swift hard spears. Wasn't that so good? Not my singing voice, obviously, but it mentions a bunch of different gods and flowers blue and red. Oh, I love it! I love it! I love it!